Hello, class. We were discussing importing and all of this great stuff, exporting, and now we're looking at how we start manipulating data in, what is this, Microsoft Excel. So remember, we'll convert and edit this, and we want to make sure that we're going to save this in our Dropbox again, okay? So we can have everything nice and neat, tidy. All right. So the first thing we want to do is, I'm just going to go ahead and expand it so you guys can see this very well. And we want to keep time. So this is video analysis from time, time from video analysis, and we want to keep X. The X velocity and the Y velocity, not necessary. So instead of deleting it, which you could do, I'm just going to hide that. Okay. And so just in case you guys didn't see how I did that, I'm going to go ahead and select here. And when this pop, I basically touch the tab up here, any one of these, and let me be clear because it may not be clear. So I'm touching on D. In fact, I'll just touch down here. I'm going to touch on D right here. Okay. And once I touch on D, I want to grab E as well. So basically D is selecting this entire column, or touching on D is going to select this entire column. Now I want to grab this handle right here. And I'm just going to drag over one. So this is how you select multiple columns, okay? So once I do that, I don't want to cut, copy, paste, insert, left. I don't want to do any of these, but I do want to hide. So I'm going to select hide right now, and I just hit them, okay? So remember that everything that we're about to do is based on, well, let me just say this. We are going to use Pythagoreans Theorem to find the radius, okay? So yes, we could have measured the radius using graphical or using, what's the name of it, video physics, but we want to do it in this, in Microsoft Excel. So the way we find our radius is using Pythagoreans Theorem, okay? So just to connect the theory to all of this, let me pull this up. Here we go. So I could pull this up. Let's see here. To connect the theory, if we're going to talk about Pythagorean's theorem, we're looking at this. We have some X, we have some Y, okay? And we move this Y over to this location, like so, head to tail. And so this is our Y, and this is going to be our radius for this point, okay? So, or our resultant vector. So we're going to find that magnitude. We have a bunch of ordered pairs, X and Y's. We have a bunch of them. And so with all of these X and Y's, we're going to find a corresponding or R for each one of them. And what is that corresponding R? Well, we know that it's Pythagorean's theorem. R squared is equal to X squared plus Y squared. So we're literally going to take this math and put it into Microsoft Excel. So I want the math to become a bit more real for you. So know that R is just equal to the square root of X squared plus Y squared. Now let me show you the power in this. I know you guys like numbers, and that's awesome, but I like power. And so you don't want to just calculate it one time. You want to be able to calculate it for millions of numbers in a few minutes, okay? In our case, it's just going to be a few seconds. So let's do that. So I'm just going to slide this over. So right now, we're not going to consider time, but we will consider our X value and our Y value. Again, these are our ordered pairs, okay? We started on the left-hand side. So X was pretty much 10 centimeters, and it was pretty much 0 centimeters for y. If you guys remember, if you can kind of look at those points and reflect on them a bit. So now in this cell, let's go ahead and name this R. And we're going to name that, let's just call it the radius. Let's just give it a real name. And I'll say dash R. Okay. So in this particular case, I'm going to double click on this and I'm going to go ahead. I double tapped on this cell. I'm going to go ahead and select on 1, 2, 3 and going to say equals to. And then I need to select on ABC again. And I'm going to start typing in SQRT for the square root. And you'll see the function come up here. Okay. So I'm going to say the square root. And now it's saying square root of a number. Well, we know we're going to have x squared plus y squared inside of this parenthetical statement. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to say x. And I'm just going to go ahead and click in here because for some reason it doesn't deselect. I'm going to hold down and go back in. And then I'm going to go back to my 1, 2, 3 tab. Select this caret symbol and then 2. So basically that's x squared. And then I'm going to use my plus sign. And then I'm going to select y, this cell for y, like so. And it's actually, the cell is C2. And so I'm just going to do the same thing. So right there we have that equation, the square root of x squared plus b squared. If we go back here, this is the formula that we just put in. Okay, this is the power and the math and all of that other good stuff. I'm going to slide this back over here. So you'll see that we found R right here. Okay, and R is pretty much 10 centimeters. Okay, but now let's do something for all of them. That was for 2 numbers. Now we could go through and do this each time, or we can select on the cell, wait for the pop-up to come up, and then we can select on fill. And when you select on fill, you have these fill handles here. So the one on the right side will fill to the right. The one on the bottom will fill going down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this fill, then I'm going to drag down. I don't need to drag the whole window, but I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag that. I'm just going to release right now just so you guys can see. Boom. Power. So now the fill handle is gone away, but I want to go all the way down. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag all the way down now. How you like that? 144 points. Done in less than a minute. That's power right there. You can sit there by hand if you want to. That's fine with me. You can calculate each one of these by hand, put them in. Woohoo! Have fun with that. One of the things I think we need to do is we need to actually put our units in. So to be very formal, so there will be no ambiguity. I'm going to say that this is a second. And then for our x, and I want to leave the fact that video analysis, that this information came from video analysis in there. And this is meters. And again, meters. And then our R is in, lo and behold, meters. Our information came in meters, so this has to be in meters. All right, so let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. And in the next video, we will proceed, okay, with trigonometric functions.